Base building has never been better than it is right now in 2026. Whether you want to raise a medieval fortress, terraform an alien planet, or just build the coziest cabin in the wasteland, there's a survival game out there letting you build anything you can imagine. We've rounded up the top 20 base building games that give you the freedom to create whatever you want. Let's get into it. Number 20. Aska delivers something most base building games don't even attempt: a settlement that actually feels alive. You're not just placing structures on a map, you're designing a functional village where every building serves a purpose in an interconnected production network. The building system gives you 28 different structure types to work with: upgraded farms with multiple field layouts, cooking houses that process raw ingredients into meals, builders' huts that let you coordinate construction projects, archery ranges and barracks for defense, bloomeries and workshops for crafting chains. Each building can be customized with functional furniture, storage solutions, and decorative elements to create your ideal settlement layout. What makes Aska unique is how your base building integrates with villager management. You're not building in isolation. You're creating workspaces for NPCs who operate on actual schedules. Your village layout directly impacts efficiency. Place your warehouse near production buildings and watch resources flow smoothly. Design your crafting quarter with logical proximity between workshops. Build outposts on distant islands and connect them through market buildings for resource transfer. The February 2025 update expanded building possibilities significantly. The new Forester building lets you create sustainable lumber operations by replanting trees in designated zones. Cave entrance upgrades give you reinforced mining outposts. Explosive sacks add terrain modification options for refreshing resource deposits. These systems transform base building from static construction into dynamic settlement evolution. You can scale from compact 25 villager operations to sprawling 100-plus population cities running 3-shift rotations. The building challenge grows with complexity, designing production chains that support your population, creating defensive perimeters with walls and towers, establishing fishing huts along lake biomes, setting up farming infrastructure with proper irrigation access. Aska's procedurally generated islands mean every playthrough demands different building strategies. Flat land near caves for mining towns, lakeside settlements for fishing economies, coastal bases with shipbuilding access. The terrain forces creative architectural solutions, using elevation for layered construction, planning road networks between outposts, positioning defensive structures around resource-rich zones. For base building enthusiasts, Aska offers depth through integration. Your construction choices directly shape how your settlement functions, grows, and survives. Number 19.
We build together. We fight together. We survive. Empyrion.
Minecraft meets space survival. Block-based construction across entire galaxies. Build bases, hover vessels, small vessels, capital, motherships. Everything from scratch. Empyrion, Galactic Survival, launched Early Access 2015, developed by Elion Game Studios. Currently, version 1.14.1, November 2025. 3D open-world survival combining space simulation, construction games, survival mechanics, and first-person shooter elements. Base building starts with 1 block, Base Starter. Requires player core plus 8 hull blocks. Place it anywhere with flat terrain. Water/beach locations for easy access, mountain/hilltop positions for tactical visibility. Once placed, you're building. Construction is pure block-based freedom. Press N facing the core, enable Connect to box. Now place blocks up to 250 meters from core. Steel blocks, concrete, hull sections. Left-click to place. Ghost blocks show blue borders when valid placement locations. Shift right-click removes blocks. Press H in creative mode for unlimited inventory. 999 of every part. Build classifications emerge naturally. Camps, bare minimum, power, oxygen, basic shelter, undefended. Outposts, resource refineries, turrets for defense, crew stations. Fortresses, massive complexes requiring serious power generation. Cities, community projects, blueprint imports, long-term builds. Required components: generators, fuel tanks feeding them, oxygen stations, constructors for crafting, storage containers. Advanced features: large constructor for assault rifles and complex items, industrial workbench for superior modules, turrets automatically targeting enemies once activated via control panel. Rooms must seal completely. Oxygen fills enclosed spaces. Debug menu, N key, shows airtight status and oxygen levels. Water access essential. Creates oxygen, purified water for growing plants. Defense critical. Drone attacks triggered when core placed, escalating based on power generation. Blueprint system lets you save creations, Alt+O. Spawn pre-built structures via factory. Symmetry mode mirrors placements. Color tool, 31 colors, individual block textures, material-specific patterns. Rotation tool adjusts blocks post-placement. Multiplayer changes everything. Collaborative mega projects, competitive battles, faction warfare. Creative mode tests designs risk-free before survival implementation. Version 1.14.1 includes Dark Faction DLC. Continuous updates refining construction mechanics, turret AI, building symmetry tools. You're only limited by imagination and resources. Build empire, one block at a time. Number 18. Astromedica delivers base building designed around actual space station logic. This isn't placing random structures on terrain. It's constructing interconnected habitat modules with power grids, pressurization systems, and resource automation across asteroid belts. The modular building system operates through corridor-based architecture. Habitat rooms connect via corridor networks that handle multiple functions simultaneously. Corridors aren't just hallways, they're infrastructure backbones. Solar panels mount to corridor exteriors. Power extends infinitely in one direction through corridor extension modules. Vertical corridors with T-junctions and X-junctions enable multi-level construction, letting you build tower stations with rotated junction points, creating complex 3D layouts. What makes Astromedica unique is its power capacity system. Every device requires both energy capacity and power generation. Build too many structures beyond your battery capacity, and the entire grid browns out instantly. This forces strategic power planning, calculating battery requirements per automated miner, balancing solar panel arrays against production needs, managing power draw when activating multiple systems simultaneously. It's electrical engineering, not just slapping down generators. Resource automation runs deep. Deploy automated miners on asteroids with configurable resource targeting. The Tier 2 asteroid miner lets you specify exactly which materials to extract. Organic resource extractors pull fiber and fungus from islands. Global storage systems and storage satellites create network-wide inventory access. Repair stations and charge stations service your vehicle fleet. The entire base becomes an interconnected production network. Blueprint discovery drives expansion. Explore abandoned outposts and space debris to scan fragments. Collect enough fragments to unlock new habitat modules, advanced corridors, specialized rooms. Each biome offers different blueprints, pushing you to establish multiple bases across asteroid belts. Power grids are sector-specific, meaning each new belt requires fresh infrastructure planning. The upcoming modular spaceship system extends this philosophy to mobile bases. Design custom ships of any size with fully placeable internal devices. This transforms ships from transport vehicles into mobile construction platforms and resource haulers. Base design supports multiple philosophies. Build compact 3x2 corridor grids packed with wall storage and battery arrays. Create sprawling research facilities with dedicated laboratory wings. Construct mining outposts positioned near high-density resource nodes, copper clusters, iron deposits, ice fields, gold veins. Location matters strategically. Well-lit zones reduce power requirements. Proximity to resources minimizes transit time. Astromedica includes research station mechanics, where loading blueprints creates massive power drain, demanding dedicated battery banks. The furniture fabricator unlocks customization options through posters and decorative elements. Airlock placement and docking stations determine vehicle access patterns. For builders who want base construction that functions as actual infrastructure management rather than decorative placement, Astromedica offers space station engineering at scale. Number 17. If you've ever wanted a base building game that makes you feel like an actual engineer, Stationeers is it. This is a space station construction sim from Rocketworks, and it's been in early access since 2017, with consistent updates ever since. We're talking 57 plus updates and counting, with the devs still pushing patches almost daily on the beta branch. The game sits at an 88% positive rating on Steam, and there's a good reason for that. So what's the deal? You're dropped onto a planet, a moon, or even an asteroid belt, and you have to build a functioning station from scratch. Sounds simple enough, right? It's not. Every single system in your base is fully simulated. Atmospherics, electrical grids, temperature, pressure, gas mixtures, water, even combustion and explosive decompression. If you mess up your air pressure, your walls can literally blow out. That's the kind of game this is. Now for us builders, this is where it gets addicting. The construction system works on a grid, and you're placing frames, walls, pipes, cables, and machines piece by piece. You're not just plopping down a prefab building. You're designing the architecture, planning the airflow, routing the power, and making sure everything connects properly. It rewards thoughtful, well-designed layouts in a way very few games do. And then there's the automation. Stationeers has its own in-game programming language called IC10, based on MIPS assembly. You can write actual code on integrated circuits to automate your entire station. Airlocks, sorting systems, climate control, farming, you name it. It's basically real engineering. The game features multiple planets with unique challenges. The Moon, Mars, Europa, Venus, even a volcanic planet called Vulcan. Each one forces you to rethink your base design because the atmosphere, temperature, and resources are completely different. Recent updates brought a completely reworked terrain system, major multiplayer improvements supporting up to 10 players, and a massive expansion to the logic system. If you want a base builder with real depth, Stationeers delivers. Number 16. This game got a massive update in December 2025, and it's doing something really smart with base building that most survival games overlook. First, the setup. You're surviving in a world overrun by vambies, these hybrid vampire zombie creatures. But here's the genius part. You can toggle them off completely and just play pure survival building. It's like the devs said, not everyone wants constant combat interrupting their building flow, and actually listened. The base building here revolves around deep systems. We're talking real power management with solar panels, wind turbines, water mills, and battery storage feeding into an invisible power grid. You craft control panels, junction boxes, electrical relays, and wires to route electricity to everything from fridges to greenhouses. You can even install wall switches to control junction boxes, letting you toggle entire sections of your base on and off to conserve power. Water works similarly. Build a water house that pumps clean drinking water to sinks within range and auto-irrigates greenhouse crops through plumbing systems. You connect pipes from the water house through pipe relays to wherever you need water. The system requires 100 units of power to run, but smart players only turn it on for seconds at a time early game when power is scarce. Recent updates removed land claim poles and building restrictions, so now you can build anywhere without artificial limitations. The V24 update just added clay mixers, melon crates, new furniture, and environmental storytelling with scattered lore notes. You've got dynamic seasons and weather affecting everything from crop growth to body temperature management. The progression is satisfying. Start with survival axes, saw benches, water collectors. Progress to furnaces, anvils, workbenches, and spike traps. Eventually, you're mining ores, refining materials, crafting advanced items, raising animals, and managing NPC helpers like Mike, who can automate tasks. Solar panels give reliable 40 power during daytime. Water mills provide 350 power on rapids, and you can scale your operation as big as you want. What makes it special is the freedom. Want to build over rivers? Do it. Want natural plateau bases with cliff defenses? Find one. Want to focus purely on farming and automation without ever seeing a Vambi? Toggle them off. The game respects your playstyle instead of forcing one path. This is base building for people who actually want to build. Deep electrical and plumbing systems, seasonal crop management, animal husbandry, mining operations, and complete freedom in how you approach survival. It's early access from a solo dev, but the vision is clear. Give players systems and let them create their own experience. Number 15. You're part of a rescue team sent to find a missing billionaire on a remote island. Your helicopter crashes, and now you're the one who needs rescuing. You start with almost nothing, gathering sticks and stones, crafting basic tools, and throwing together a shelter before nightfall. The island is crawling with cannibals and mutants that get more aggressive the longer you survive. What sets this apart is Kelvin, your AI companion who actually helps. Tell him to gather logs, build a shelter, or watch your back while you explore the island's network of caves and bunkers, hiding clues about what happened here. The building system lets you place logs piece by piece, designing bases exactly how you want them. End Night Games built this as a sequel to The Forest, and it delivers on the horror while giving you real freedom in how you survive. If you want survival horror with a genuine sense of dread, this one nails it. Number 14. Rising World delivers something most voxel builders don't attempt: complete dimensional freedom. This isn't snap-to-grid block placement. This is precision engineering where every construction element can be resized from 0.001 units to 5 by 5 by 5 blocks using real-time manipulation controls. The Unity version building system operates on a unified block framework. Craft any shape from the workbench, then reshape it in hand using shift commands and arrow keys. A single cube becomes planks, beams, panels, or architectural details through dimensional adjustment. This eliminates the need for pre-made construction pieces while offering unlimited geometric possibilities. What makes Rising World unique is the depth of its construction tools. The pivot point system lets you anchor blocks to specific connection points with visible blue anchor dots showing available snap locations. Grid mode overlays adjustable measurement guides. Press G to enable, then use plus or minus keys to control precision from coarse to microscopic. Blocks can be placed aligned to world grid or rotated to any custom angle for complex architectural designs. The building flexibility supports multiple construction philosophies. Build Minecraft style with simple full and half blocks. Create plank-based designs by resizing elements to timber dimensions. Engineer realistic structures with actual foundations, floor joists, wall studs, roof trusses, and layered materials. The system adapts to your vision rather than forcing standardized approaches. Blueprint functionality transforms how you build across worlds. Save entire structures, from fence sections to complete buildings, then spawn and resize them in new locations. This creates reusable architectural libraries for consistent design language across multiple builds or server projects. The terrain modification system integrates directly with construction. Fully destructible voxel environments mean you can excavate underground complexes, carve hillside dwellings, or terraform entire landscapes. The complex cave networks offer natural underground building locations that can be extended and refined with structural supports and interior architecture. Rising World supports importing custom images directly into the game world. This enables texture customization, signage creation, and decorative elements that personalize builds beyond standard block textures. Combined with the radial menu preset system for saving common dimensions, this streamlines complex construction workflows. The challenge lies in the learning curve. This isn't intuitive block placement. It's architectural CAD-level control requiring mastery of keyboard shortcuts, anchor point manipulation, and dimensional commands. But that complexity unlocks building precision impossible in traditional voxel games. For builders who want absolute control over every construction detail, Rising World offers tools that treat base building as actual engineering. Number 13. Taming a T-Rex and riding it into battle against another player's army of raptors. That's Ark in one sentence. Studio Wildcard rebuilt the original Ark from the ground up in Unreal Engine 5, and the result is visually stunning and completely chaotic. You start at the bottom of the food chain, gathering berries and hiding from everything. But eventually, you're taming dinosaurs, building massive tribal bases, and either teaming up with or destroying other players. The multiplayer is wild. Tribes form, alliances break, and entire servers go to war. It's buggy, it's messy, and the time investment is enormous. But if you want survival, where the power fantasy involves commanding an army of prehistoric creatures across a massive open world, nothing else delivers that specific brand of chaos. Number 12. For anyone who wants their base building wrapped in a massive medieval MMO, Pax Dei. This isn't just a survival game with multiplayer tacked on. This is a full social sandbox MMO where thousands of players inhabit the same world, build entire villages together, and shape a medieval fantasy world inspired by real legends, myths, and folklore. Ghosts exist, magic is unquestioned, and the land is yours to claim. The building system here is genuinely impressive. You claim a plot of land in one of 40 unique home valleys spread across a 300 square kilometer world, and you build whatever you want on it. Dozens of building pieces, structural integrity physics, and enough freedom that players have built everything from cozy cabins to massive stone fortresses. And when you team up with a clan, you can combine plots to build entire villages together. Some of the community-built settlements in Pax Dei genuinely look like real medieval towns, and they're all player-made. The craft everything economy is where Pax Dei really sets itself apart. Literally every single item in the game is made by players. Every sword, every wall, every piece of armor, every loaf of bread. Nothing is dropped by NPCs. So if you want to be a blacksmith, a farmer, a tailor, a dungeon raider, or a full-time builder, you can specialize and become genuinely valuable to the economy. Other players will come to you for your goods. The world itself is split into the safe heartlands, where you build your home, and the dangerous wilderness, where you'll battle evil creatures, raid ancient ruins, and compete with rival clans for resources. There's even a contested PvP zone called Lyonesse for players who want full-scale clan warfare. You also have a grace system that lets you perform miracles, divine powers that can help with building, combat, or just daily tasks. Pax Dei launched its 1.0 version on October 16, 2025 from Mainframe Industries. Reviews are currently mixed, sitting at 54%. The game has had a rocky early access period with content pacing and performance issues, and some players aren't happy with the membership model. But if you're specifically looking for a base-building MMO where thousands of players shape a persistent medieval world, there's genuinely nothing else quite like it. For the right player, Pax Dei scratches an itch no other game is even trying to fill. Number 11. You wake up naked on a beach with a rock and a torch. Other players will kill you for your rock. Welcome to Rust. This is pure PvP survival at its most brutal. You gather resources, build a base, craft weapons, and try not to lose everything to raiders while you sleep. Because yes, your base can be raided while you're offline, and losing 40 hours of progress to someone with C4 is just a normal Tuesday. Facepunch Studios keeps the game evolving with massive updates. A new jungle biome dropped in 2025, and the blueprint system got a major overhaul. Monthly wipes on official servers reset progress, giving everyone a fresh start. Modded servers offer everything from roleplay communities to battlefield chaos. Rust has over 1.2 million reviews on Steam and has sold more than 12 million copies. If you have thick skin and love the adrenaline of PvP survival where trust gets you killed, nothing else comes close. Number 10. Every 7 days, a blood moon rises and a massive zombie horde comes straight for your base. That's the hook. Between hordes, you're scavenging abandoned towns, crafting weapons, building traps, and fortifying walls. It's survival meets tower defense, and the tension of knowing that Horde Night is coming gives everything you do a deadline. The Fun Pimps spent years in early access before finally hitting 1.0 in July 2024. A major bandit and NPC update arrived in early 2026, adding human enemies and quest givers to the mix. The voxel-based building means everything is destructible. Zombies will dig under your walls, climb over them, or just smash through. It's at 86% positive on Steam, with over 530,000 followers. If you want a survival game where base defense is the main event and every building decision matters, 7 Days to Die is the definitive zombie tower defense. Number 9. Space Engineers 2, the sequel that just launched in early access on January 27, 2025, and completely reimagined what physics-based space construction can be. Built on the new V-Rage 3 engine, Space Engineers 2 takes everything the original game established over 11 years and rebuilds it from the ground up. You're building ships, stations, and planetary bases in a fully destructible, volumetric universe where realistic physics simulation drives every interaction. It's in early access for the next 3 years with a roadmap that includes planets, survival mode, volumetric water, multiplayer, and a full story campaign. Now let's talk about what you can actually build. The Unified Grid System, game changer. Space Engineers 2 eliminates the traditional small grid versus large grid distinction with a revolutionary 25-centimeter unified grid system. You can now build anything from intricate machinery to massive space stations within a single coherent grid. No more limitations on mixing block sizes. Everything snaps together with 25 centimeters precision. Block sizes span from 25 centimeters up through 0.5 meters, 2.5 meters, and beyond with no upper bound. The system handles shapes with the same precision, so a 2.5 meter slope occupies half the cubic space, leaving room for additional construction. You get automatic snapping based on block size, but manual fine-tuning is available with that same 25 centimeter granularity. This fundamentally changes base design possibilities. You're not working around grid restrictions anymore. You're building exactly what you envision. Blueprint and projection building. The blueprint system gives you snap-to-grid placement, partial copy/paste functionality, and the ability to assign blueprints directly to your toolbar. Copy entire structures or select partial grids as modular prefabs. Rotate, cut, copy, paste, then attach to existing grids seamlessly. Grid undo and redo functionality means you can experiment without consequences. Place lines and walls of blocks instantly in creative mode, test designs, and roll back changes effortlessly. Projection building takes this further in survival mode. You place holographic projections of ships, rovers, and bases, then weld them up directly from ore using your backpack. The projection shows you exactly what you're building before you commit resources. Mirroring, copy/paste, blueprints, and grid undo/redo all work with projections, letting you iterate on designs rapidly. Backpack building, survival innovation. The backpack building system revolutionizes early game survival. Your engineer's backpack auto-processes raw ore into simple components, enabling immediate construction without establishing a full industrial base first. Mine ore, and your backpack handles smelting and basic component fabrication automatically. This doesn't replace advanced manufacturing. You still need production facilities for complex components and larger constructions. But it eliminates the tedious early game grind of setting up survival kits and basic assemblers before you can build anything meaningful. Advanced creative tools. Space Engineers 2 includes professional-grade building tools integrated directly into the game. The voxel hand tool lets you sculpt terrain and asteroids. Symmetry tools ensure balanced designs without manual mirroring. Line and plane building place entire rows or walls of blocks instantly. The paint tool allows full customization of your constructions. Combined with mounting point visualization and grid lines, the building interface makes complex construction intuitive for newcomers while giving veterans unprecedented control. Character movement supports speeds up to 310 meters per second, and grids can reach 300 meters per second, fast enough for genuine space travel. Mag boots and automatic jetpack activation prevent accidental falls during construction on platforms or asteroids. Ships, stations, and planetary bases. You're building across 3 categories: space stations, starships, and planetary bases. Everything is fully destructible and physically simulated. Construct modular space stations with docking bays and production facilities. Design starships with functional systems, power, propulsion, life support, weapons. Establish planetary bases with resource extraction and manufacturing. The current early access build includes 2 planets, Verdure and Chemic, with distinct biomes, volumetric clouds, and dynamic voxel hardness. Future updates add volumetric water, enabling underwater base construction and submarine design. Steam Workshop integration. The UGC Workshop connects directly to Steam Workshop, letting you share creations and discover blueprints built by the community. Modding support through VRage 3. Mod Hub and Mod Editor gives creators professional-grade tools for custom content. What makes it unique? Space Engineers 2 isn't just iterating on the original, it's rebuilding the foundation for the next decade of space construction gameplay. The unified grid system removes artificial limitations. Projection building makes survival construction feel closer to creative mode. Backpack building eliminates early game tedium without sacrificing depth. If you want physics-based space engineering with unprecedented building precision and creative freedom, Space Engineers 2 delivers that vision in early access form, with years of development ahead, expanding the possibilities. Number 8. One of the most detailed and unforgiving planets in any survival game, Dune Awakening. If you've ever read Frank Herbert's books or watched the movies and thought, I want to survive on Arrakis myself, Funcom built exactly that for you. A massive, open-world survival MMO set on the deadly desert planet where water is more valuable than gold. Sandstorms can end your run in seconds, and giant sandworms patrol the sands looking for anything that makes vibrations. The base building in Dune Awakening is incredible. You're carving out a home in a planet that is actively trying to kill you, which makes every wall you place feel like a real accomplishment. The construction system uses a fief mechanic, where you claim territory, then build shelters, workshops, farms, and fortresses using hundreds of building pieces. Some players have built absolutely massive underground complexes carved into canyon walls. Others have built fortified cliff bases with defensive positions overlooking the open desert. The freedom is genuinely impressive, and the Arrakis aesthetic makes every base look like it belongs in the movies. And here's the big news. If you quit Dune Awakening before because of the base tax and upkeep system, you need to come back. The February 3rd Chapter 3 update completely removed taxes from the game. No more Solari payments to keep your base standing. No more upkeep grinding. You can now build as big as you want and expand your empire without any additional costs. The Emperor, as the patch notes put it, begrudgingly agreed to stop collecting. Reddit lit up with the top comment literally just being, "No more taxes is fantastic." Chapter 3 also brought massive endgame additions, 5 new specialization tracks for crafting, gathering, exploration, combat, and sabotage, a new augmentation progression system, 10 new overland locations with boss challenges, and a completely redesigned Landsrad faction system. If you've been away from Arrakis, there's even a free return package with resources waiting for any character that hasn't logged in for 28 days. Dune Awakening originally launched in 2025 from Funcom, and while it's had its rough patches, Chapter 3 is genuinely the biggest update since launch. If you love base building, sci-fi, and brutal survival, this is the right moment to set foot on Arrakis. Number 7. Number 7 is the redemption story of gaming, No Man's Sky. And if you checked out on this game back in 2016, everything you know about it is completely outdated. Hello Games has been pumping out free updates for almost 10 years straight, and the game you'd play today is essentially a completely different experience than what launched. The base building here is honestly incredible now. You can build bases anywhere on any planet. Mountaintops, underwater, floating in the sky, inside caves. There are hundreds of base parts organized across multiple construction styles: timber, stone, alloy, industrial, and settlement-inspired pieces that let you build everything from a cozy shack to a sprawling futuristic compound. Base complexity limits have been dramatically increased. You can own multiple bases spread across regions and planets, and there's full terrain manipulation, so you can literally reshape the world around your home. And the ambition doesn't stop at planet bases. You can build inside freighters to create fully customized capital ships. You can become overseer of procedurally generated alien settlements. You can even build multi-crew habitable starships assembled from hundreds of modules. This is base building at a scale no other game on this list attempts. Here's what's been happening just this year. Hello Games dropped the Remnant update in February 2026, their first major update of the game's 10th anniversary year. It added the Gravitino Coil, a Half-Life 2-inspired gravity gun that lets you fling objects around, build sphere creators, and play in a full physics playground. Then in April, they dropped Xeno Arena, which is a whole new multiplayer update. These guys genuinely don't stop shipping content, all of it completely free. The universe itself is massive. Procedurally generated planets, actual sandworms, volcanic eruptions, lightning storms, gas giants, creature writing, cooking systems, multiplayer expeditions, the list keeps going. Whether you want to play solo as a chill space explorer, team up with friends for base builds, or dive into full combat scenarios, No Man's Sky has become one of the most feature-rich sandbox games on the market. 2026 is the game's 10-year anniversary, and it's arguably better now than it's ever been. Number 6.
Up to you. Stay safe.
Icarus, a game with a genuinely unique philosophy about base building. While most survival games ask, how amazing can your forever home get? This one asks, how much can you build before the planet kills you? It's session-based extraction survival, which means every drop onto the planet is basically a ticking clock, and that changes everything about how you approach construction. The story hook is great. Icarus is an Earth-like planet where humanity tried to terraform a new home and failed spectacularly. The air turned toxic, the terraforming collapsed, and the whole project became a running joke. Then, prospectors discovered exotic matter, valuable beyond reckoning, and suddenly there was a gold rush. You drop in from orbit, build what you need, hunt for exotics, and return to your orbital workshop to exchange them for better tech on your next drop. Or you die down there, and everything you built is lost forever. The base building has real depth. You progress from wood to stone to concrete, with full structural integrity physics so bases can actually collapse if you build carelessly. Stone is the community meta for mid to late game. The 3x3 stone base is basically the default starter layout everyone ends up using. Storms, lightning, toxic air, and apex predators will all test your construction choices, and you can play it two ways. The open world operations mode if you want a more traditional survival experience, or episodic missions if you want structured narrative drops. Over 100 talents let you specialize in building, hunting, taming, fighting, farming, and more. Icarus is from Rocketworks, the Auckland-based studio founded by DayZ creator Dean Hall. It currently sits at 76% mostly positive on Steam. In 2026, the game has had a massive year. The Kepler update added a brand new tech tier, oil resources, new building sets, and NPC traders across every map. Then, on March 5, 2026, they dropped the Dangerous Horizons expansion, which adds Elysium, a new 8x8-kilometer region with over 45 new creatures and NPCs, a world boss, 4 rideable mounts including lethal raptors, 3 tameable creatures with their own talent trees, a hoverbike, laser weapons, lithium tools, uranium rods, geothermal biomes, radiation zones, and narrative missions. And on March 26, 2026, Icarus finally came to consoles. PS5 and Xbox Series via Grip Studios, bundled with the New Frontiers expansion out of the box. Total map size is now over 128 square kilometers across Styx, Olympus, Prometheus, and Elysium. If you want survival base building with real stakes, where every base you build is a temporary fortress against a planet that actively wants you dead, Icarus is exactly that. and it's never been bigger than it is right now. Number 5. Soulmask is a survival sandbox that launched into early access in 2024 and has quietly become one of the most feature-rich games in the genre. Over 800,000 players, 80% positive reviews, and now it's hitting its full 1.0 release on April 10, 2026, alongside a massive Egypt DLC called Shifting Sands. And here's the kicker: the DLC is completely free if you grab it within the first month after launch. The core game drops you into a primitive world as the last survivor blessed with a mysterious mask. The mask system is the game's secret weapon. Different masks give you different abilities and progression paths. You build a settlement, recruit tribesmen, assign them roles, and slowly grow from a one-person operation into a full civilization. The tribe management system is deep enough that you can issue voice commands to your NPCs, which is honestly just cool. But the real reason Soulmask is on this list right now is Shifting Sands. This DLC is basically a whole second game, a brand new ancient Egypt-inspired world that's equal in size to the entire base game. 4 new masks themed after Egyptian gods. Horus lets you fly, Anubis lets you resurrect fallen enemies to fight for you, Sobek summons tidal forces, and Ra just straight up incinerates everything with solar beams. And the biggest gameplay shift? Anti-gravity airships. You're building modular ships that sail across deserts, rivers, and eventually the sky itself. Your base isn't a building anymore. It's a flying fortress. The 1.0 version also comes with major quality of life improvements, better tutorials, reworked mask progression, and a new tribe management interface. And Soulmask isn't raising its price for 1.0. It stays at $29.99 with a 10% launch discount. If you buy before May 10th, the Shifting Sands DLC is free. After that, it's $19.99. If you've been sleeping on Soulmask, this is the moment to wake up. Number 4. Conan Exiles is a survival game that's been defining the base building genre since 2018. Conan Exiles. And look, this game has been through a lot, but the bottom line is simple. When it comes to raw building freedom, massive fortresses, and settlements so ambitious they look like real castles, almost nothing else comes close. This is the survival game where your base literally becomes your character. The building system is the real star here. You start chopping trees and mining stone, and within a few dozen hours you can have multi-story keeps, castle walls, towers, dungeons, courtyards, throne rooms, whatever you want. The snap-to-grid placement is clean, the structural integrity system is genuinely smart, and there are so many building pieces across different tiers that you can match pretty much any aesthetic. Medieval stronghold? Done. Brutal Sumerian hold? Done. Massive Stygian pyramid complex? Absolutely. Some of the community-built megabases look like real historical monuments. The world itself is Robert E. Howard's Conan universe, which hits way different from the usual fantasy settings. The exiled lands are a brutal, unforgiving desert full of ancient ruins, forgotten kingdoms, and nightmare creatures. You can enslave enemies and turn them into thralls who work your crafting stations. You can practice blood sorcery, summon undead, and become a warlock. And yes, there's a purge system where waves of enemies attack your base, so all that fortress building you did actually gets tested. Here's where things get real for 2026. Funcom has had Conan Exiles in what they're calling the Age of Fixes, basically a maintenance mode focused on stability, quality of life, and bug fixing, while most of their resources went into Dune Awakening. The December 2025 update brought some great base building improvements though, including followers now supplying materials directly while you build with the construction hammer. No more over-encumbered stumbling around. Crafting stations also auto-pull from your inventory now. A new thrall trader system was added, so you can sell followers, animals, and even golems for gold. And there's interesting news. In March 2026, Funcom started sending out random NDA test build questionnaires to Conan Exiles veterans, which has the community buzzing about a possible engine upgrade or major update coming. Nothing official yet, but something is clearly in the pipeline. Even in maintenance mode, Conan Exiles remains one of the best pure base builders on the market. If you want a game where your castle is your legacy, where you conquer the land piece by piece, and where every stone you place matters, this one has been doing it better than almost anyone for nearly a decade. Honorable mention.
How do I get there?
The Institute finds you.
Okay, before we get into the top 3, we have to give an honorable mention to a game that has somehow become one of the best base building experiences ever made. But only if you install mods. Fallout 4. Yes, the 2015 Bethesda RPG. Here's the thing. Vanilla Fallout 4 settlement building is fine. It's clunky, it's limited, it has that dreaded red outline telling you, no, you can't place that there. And the build budget runs out way too fast. But install the right mods, and suddenly you're running one of the deepest post-apocalyptic city builders in existence. The crown jewel is Sim Settlements 2 by King Gath. This mod literally turns Fallout 4 into SimCity. You place down zones, residential, commercial, industrial, agricultural, and your settlers actually build their own homes, shops, and farms in those zones while you go explore the wasteland. It adds a whole new faction, a full storyline that runs parallel to the main quest, settler backstories, special stats, side quests, and building plans from hundreds of community contributors. Your settlements evolve dynamically over time, and when you return after a week of adventuring, you come back to a completely transformed city. It's genuinely magical. Add Workshop Plus, and suddenly your build interface becomes a creative tool with fly mode, clone functions, undo hotkeys, and a Photoshop-style layer system. Add Place Everywhere to remove that red outline forever. You can now put objects anywhere, overlap them, clip them into walls. The freedom is unreal. Add Homemaker and Creative Clutter, and you get over 2,000 new craftable objects. Add Scrap Everything, and you can demolish entire buildings to start fresh. Add Transfer Settlements, and you can save your settlement as a blueprint to use across saves or download other players' creations. The Fallout 4 modding scene is still absurdly active in 2026, with Sim Settlements even having its source code released publicly in October 2025 so the community can keep building on it. The base game goes for nothing on sale these days, and everything we just mentioned is free on Nexus Mods. If you want post-apocalyptic sims with full RPG depth, this is the most unique base building experience on the list. It's an honorable mention because it needs mods to really shine, but once it does, nothing else feels like it. Number 3. Number 1 wasn't even a question. Windrose. And if you haven't heard of this game yet, buckle up, because this is the biggest pirate launch of 2026, and it literally happened days ago. Windrose dropped into early access on April 14th, and within the first week, it had already sold over 1 million copies, hit more than 200,000 concurrent players on Steam, and dethroned Rust as the top survival game on the entire platform. That's insane. So what is Windrose? It's a co-op pirate survival game from Kraken Express, published by Pocket Pair. Yes, the same Pocket Pair behind Palworld. So you already know these guys know how to launch a viral hit. The setup is pure pirate fantasy. You're a 1700s captain who made the mistake of challenging Blackbeard, got your ship wrecked, and now you're stranded on a tiny island with nothing but a dream of revenge and some very angry boars trying to kill you. The gameplay loop is what survival fans have been begging for. You gather resources, craft gear, build a base that can range from a simple shack to a massive pirate fort that takes dozens of hours to construct. You rescue your crew, repair your ship, and slowly work your way up from that starting island to commanding a proper pirate vessel. Combat is Souls-like inspired, stamina-based, parries, dodges, timing matters, and the boss fights are genuinely punishing in the best way. But the real magic happens on the water. Naval combat with ship-to-ship cannons, boarding actions where you physically leap onto enemy decks and fight their crew, seamless transitions between land and sea, and co-op ship controls where your crew can share gunnery duties. When your crew starts singing shanties as you sail toward your next raid, it's the pirate moment gamers have been waiting years for. The world is massive. 3 diverse biomes filled with procedurally generated environments, over 100 handcrafted dungeons and points of interest, quests, factions to build reputation with, farming, fishing, trading, the full package. The main story alone runs 50 to 70 hours, and the building systems will easily pull you way past that. Reviewers are calling Windrose what Skull and Bones should have been, saying it scratches the Black Flag itch in the best way. And one PC Gamer writer literally said after 4 hours of Windrose, they uninstalled Sea of Thieves to keep playing. That's the kind of praise you can't buy. Windrose is out right now on Steam, Epic Games Store, and Stove for $29.99 with a 10% launch discount. Up to 8 players can crew up together, though 4 is the recommended sweet spot. If you've been waiting for the pirate survival game to finally arrive, it's here. Number 1 on our list is already a phenomenon, and it's only been out for a week. Number 2. You're a fallen Viking warrior sent to Valheim, a procedurally generated afterlife, to prove yourself worthy of Valhalla by defeating massive Forsaken bosses. The survival loop is progression-based. Beat a boss, unlock new resources and biomes, craft better gear, sail to new lands, repeat. Iron Gate Studio nailed the building system. Structures follow physics-based rules, so your Viking longhouse needs proper support beams or it collapses. Sailing across stormy oceans with friends while hauling ore back to base is peak co-op gaming. The Call to Arms update dropped in late 2025, and a 1.0 release is expected in 2026. It's at 93% positive on Steam, with over 513,000 reviews. If you want Viking survival with friends, where the building is as satisfying as the boss fights, Valheim is one of the most accessible yet deep survival games out there. Number 1. Embervale is a realm consumed by a deadly fog called the Shroud, and you're one of the last Flameborn trying to reclaim it. Enshrouded blends survival with proper RPG combat. We're talking dodging, blocking, spellcasting, and skill trees that feel closer to Elden Ring than your typical crafting game. The building system uses voxel-based construction, letting you carve terrain and build detailed structures block by block. Keen Games launched it into early access in 2024, and a full 1.0 release is planned for fall 2026. The Wake of the Water update recently added water physics and underwater building, which opens up entirely new base design possibilities. If you want survival that doesn't sacrifice combat depth, where fighting feels as polished as building, Enshrouded is one of the most promising games in the genre right now. And that's our top 20. Did your favorite base builder make the list? Or did we miss one? Drop it in the comments. Smash that like button if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe for more lists like this. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.